What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's good. Just find y'all well, healthy, happy. Um, Today we are going to talk about a podcast I recently ran headlong into on accident. Um, I was skimming Apple Podcasts for a new podcast to listen to, because most of mine have to do with the Reds, the Bengals, the White Sox, or wrestling. So I was kind of skimming Apple Podcasts, like I said, just looking for new podcasts to listen to. And I came across one titled Ear Hustle. Now, I'd never heard of this podcast before, never knew it existed, whatever. Went, okay. So I did a little bit so I read the description, and it is a podcast done by prisoners inside of the San Quentin prison in California. It is done in conjunction, I can't remember who it's done in conjunction with, but it's done in conjunction with some major podcast network. Don't remember who. And everything that they do is approved, has to go through the, not the warden, but the superintendent of the prison, because I guess the warden's different than the superintendent, but it has to be approved by them. And it's a really interesting podcast to listen to, because here they cover a bunch of different topics, like they covered first timers in prison. They covered when you're getting out of prison after serving, a long, 10, 15, 20-year sentence. They covered, at one point, they had the prison chaplain on and covered death row. So it's a very interesting podcast. It's a very wide-ranging and topical podcast, and I enjoy listening to it, and I enjoy learning about the prisoners they talk to, their stories, and how they got to prison, and if they're going to get out, what their plans are when they get out. And it's very interesting to me, because I learn something from pretty much every situation I'm put into, or everything that somebody says to me, I learn from. And this is one of the best podcasts for just learning about life, and looking at life from the perspective of somebody that has fucked up so bad they're in prison, and they're either stuck there or they're getting out after, serving a long sentence, or just about life inside of a prison. They don't glorify it. They don't focus on the aspects of it that are bad, but it is widely acknowledged that there are aspects of both. It's both can be good and bad, based on a person's attitude and their outlook. They always say, um, you know, different people do time different ways. Like, some people will just stick to themselves and not do anything, just sit in their cell or read and write whatever all day. And other people will, seek out programs to help themselves, to better themselves while they're in there. And really, takeaway I got from that is your prison experience is largely based on how you choose to do your time. So yeah, it's definitely a great podcast to listen to if you're looking to learn some things about life. Um, 'Cause like I said before, I feel like I can learn about life from just about anybody. So, you can find it. Just search Ear Hustle Podcast or Ear Hustle on Apple Podcasts. I'm sure it is available on Stitcher, um, Podcast Addict, um, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm pretty sure it's available, but it's well worth checking out. They are on a hiatus right now. They're between seasons, I believe, 2 and 3, and season 3 actually I think should be starting um, later in the fall. Um, and I can't wait to see what season 3 is going to bring me. I've pretty much binge listened seasons 1 and 2 because I caught it midway through season 2, I think it was. Yeah, it was midway through season 2 that I found out about it and started listening to it. So, like, I finished season 2, then I went back and binged season 1, and um, then listened to the first 3 episodes of season 2, because I caught on about season, or episode 4 of season 2. So, very, very well done podcast. You learn about everything from life to death to everything, and it's well worth spending, a half hour and 40 minutes just to kind of listen to these stories and realize that even when these guys go to prison, you know, they're still human, they're still people, they still have thoughts, feelings, emotions, and everything. Um, just a matter of how you choose to A, do your time, and B, handle all of those, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and all that, other bullshit. So, anyway, Ear Hustle Podcast, check it out. iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pod Addict, Podomatic, whatever podcast app you use, it's probably there. Just search Ear Hustle, and I will be back later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for fostering. That's all. I couldn't do this. I love y'all. Peace.